Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. I am going to do a flip through. This is the second flip through of these two fashion designer sewing theme journals. I did this flip through earlier, and these books are so big that it took me nearly 30 minutes to get through this one. I'll try to move it a little quicker through this next one. They are similar, but they are really unique to each. So these are chock full, let me get this one aside, of authentic antique book pages and magazine pages. And I'm calling this a lookbook because when you get in, you'll see why. Okay, these are both large journals. This one's, I think, a little bit bigger than the last one. This is 9 1/4 in length, 7 and a little over 7.5 in width, and it has a just under a 3-inch spine. It's a hardcover journal, but it's wrapped in fabric, this beautiful fabric, and I left it pretty plain on the front because of how so much going on, in this fabric. So I just have a couple of different crocheted laces down the front here and some pearl trim. And it is 4 signatures, and it is done in a hollow spine binding, and so it will lay flat because it is a very large journal. So I wanted to make sure that if you chose to journal in it, that you could do that. On the spine, I think I might be a little close here, but that's because I have the book up on the end. I wanted to show you, this is a removable tassel. Now the tassel is full of all kinds of different trims, and here is a vintage pincushion that I got from my grandma before she passed away many years ago. And I have a Singer sewing machine on a ball pen, so that can be removed. I have some strands of pearls in here. There is a thread spool here. I've got some ribbon. There is some soft mohair eyelash trim. I've got several types or colors of silk rather. I've got some seam binding. I've got some strips of muslin. There's some crocheted trim in here and some ribbons. So you'll see lots of charms throughout, all tied on. Okay, we've got a spool of thread here, a button. There is a little iron, and there might be a couple more tucked in there. So that's the spine. Now, how I've tied it in is it is tied into a long piece of sari, and you can untie it, but the sari is really long, so you can use it as a bookmark. I have a seam binding or sari silk binding tie here with an antique style eyelet on both sides. Here's the back. Okay, and off the edges you'll see lots of different charms hanging. So with that, let's get into this mammoth pretty journal. On the inside I have this pretty fashion theme paper, and I used craft text to sew the signatures into, so it would be nice and heavy duty. And then we have some crocheted trim here. Now this is a multi flip here with pockets, so I'll show you how this works. I did do a tutorial on how to make this insert if you're interested in it. It's full of little secret pockets and tucks. So I have a tuck here. Now the ephemera in here is by Tailor Made Journals, and I'll have it listed below, and maybe some from Liana Scrap. And some of the papers in here are Liana Scrap. So I will list their these Etsy listings below. This is a big doily, as you can see, and we have a tuck under there, and we have a tuck up here with 2 tags in this tuck. And then, let me see how this goes. In here this is a little, oops, my greenery is going away. And here is a little envelope, vellum envelope I made with a wax seal, and then this little, little booklet here tucked in there. Okay, now this flips this way. Let me see. I was thinking I had an extra pocket in here somewhere, and I guess not. The other one I did. So then we have a pocket here. Let me move this. And this is some pretty European style lace, and then this vintage clothing tag here, and then a pocket here with 2 pieces of ephemera, and then up here is another pocket, and I fussy cut this pair of scissors, and I did do some glossy accents on it. And then this is a tuck spot with another journal card up there, and this is some of that beautiful paper from the I believe that one is from Liana Scraps. Okay, then you have plenty of room to write here, and these are pockets at the top. You can write here, and then in each pocket I have made these large tags out of vintage sewing pattern, the covers of the sewing pattern cover. And you can see I have some sorry here and a button there, and then some coffee stained cardstock on the back. Then there are 2 pockets up here. We have a pocket here, and there's another one of those vintage tags. And I've got a little charm here, and then some real pretty vanilla colored sari up here. And then another tag up here in this back pocket. A little tab and a little trim there. And then this just flips back over this way, and then it flips here. And this is Stamperia paper here. Now here's a page from a 1940s fashion magazine. Actually, the magazine is a fabric magazine made for fashion designers. So, and clothiers and whatnot. So this is from the mid-40s, and there's several of these pages in here. Here we've got some journaling room. I did do some parchment in between these really super old magazine pages, and this is from the Delineator magazine. And this one is from October 1906. And there's just beautiful, beautiful clothing images here and illustrations. And then I did put some washi on the end to make as you flip the pages, it more secure, because these are such old and fragile pages. And there's the other side of that. Here's some coffee stain paper, a little bit of stamping. Some paper here, and the back is plain to journal on. And then I have another one of these large tags here, and then you can put that in one of the larger pockets, or just, you know, write on it and tuck it in your book. And then a little bit of, or one of those little embellished paper clips that I do. So that can be moved through the book. And I did leave room to write in here. I call it a lookbook because there's so many of these antique pages in it, and so many of this beautiful paper in it, but there is room to write. You can see this is a full spread here in the middle of this signature, and this is 4 signatures. There's a pocket here, and plenty of tags to write on in here, and journaling cards. And somebody on Instagram, I posted a couple pictures of these journals on Instagram, and they said that she thought this would be perfect for fashion designers, and I agree with her, or sewing enthusiasts, you know. This is parchment writing paper, watercolored and stamped coffee stain paper. Another one of those antique book pages. Fashions for young folk. Got a pocket here with a large journaling card with some ribbon. That's a tape measure ribbon and a ball pin and a little button. It's all sewn around and it's backed on cardstock. This is Stamperia paper here, and this is a nice large tag here, and some sorry, and a little tag here with a brad, and a little interest down here. Now, in both books, I did do a swatch page from that fashion, or that fabric book, and this is the swatch page from, you know, the fabric book. So we have 3 types of fabric here, and then I did off the edge of a lot of the pages the fabric ruffle, and here is a charm, a sewing machine. $1906. We have a fabric flip here, and a little interest up here. Also, you can remove this tag, and it's just got some thread wrapped around it, and there's a little ball pin and an eyelet there. Stamping. I made a tuck out of this bust here, and I fussy cut this and then put some glossy accents on it and made a pocket out of it, rather. And then we've got this large tag here, a little bit of fabric at the top, and then the smaller one here. We've got a tuck here, pocket rather, and a button card with hand-sewn buttons. But I did back it with some cardstock so you could write on it. Excuse me. All right, over here we have a little tablet, and I've got it secured with this clip and some button ephemera here. Well, it's actually a from an embossing folder. And this is all coffee dyed paper. There's several sheets. I think this might be Tim Holtz paper here. We have a flip out journal card here, and then a button card that I made into a pocket, and a couple of large journaling places there. And then this is a tuck with some sorry. And then we have a double tuck on this side with some tape measure ribbon and some pretty sorry sewn on there. And then we've got a pocket here, rather. And then a pocket on this side. A little dress form stamping there, some stenciling, like a burlap. Let me get this tassel back here. 1906. Then some ribbon here. Fabric ribbon, I should say. And we have a pair of scissors on a ball pin. This is the other part of that swatch. So there are 3 more things, and then they had this little thing on there, and it says fur fibers blend with wool, rayon, and cotton to add new dimension in textiles. And I don't like furs, but this was in here, and I left it in here, and in it is some actual fur fiber. So I just left it. Now here is that sari, or that's, yeah, sari silk that you can use as a bookmark. Or you can remove it here. You can untie and remove your tassel. This is from that 1940s fashion magazine. Fabric magazine, I should say. (1906). Coffee dyed paper. This is from a McCall's 1920s magazine. We have a multi-pocket here, flip, and this is done out of old pattern paper, vintage pattern paper. Got a little trim down here, a little button. One of my cut down master boards I made into a belly band, and we've got 2 tags in here. And this flips. And I've made pockets here with cut down master boards again, and we've got some trim here, and then some pieces of ephemera, tags actually, in these pockets. I love this one. And I believe that is from Tailor Made Journal, that kit. And a vintage style eyelet up there and some sari. And then we have a pocket on this side, and I did do a little trim down here of sari, a sari ruffle. We've got a tag here. And then this is a mending kit of wool. And I think this would be probably, I don't know, to darn socks maybe or something. This is super old, and it was in a old, I mean, this is kind of falling apart almost. That's how old that wool is. And this was in, it was a sewing kit or sewing box that I had gotten at a thrift store. So I thought that was kind of cute, so I kept that. It's a 1906 magazine there. More 1906. Got a button on a ball pin here on this fabric ruffle. That McCall's magazine. I guess these are the pattern numbers. How the fashion's changed in that 40-something year time frame that I'm showing throughout the book. It's amazing. And then even more than that, if you look at some of these little images, you know, on the some of the papers, the graphics. The McCall's parchment. And I have a fabric little flip here, and I just did like a patchwork of fabrics here, and I do a fabric ruffle, and this is done on a file folder. So in this, I did an acetate pocket here, and in it I've got 2 tags, and then in that old box, that old sewing box, were a whole bunch of these blanket binding, but they were empty, just the you know, the papers from it. So I made little booklets with some of them. And here's the back of that patchwork collage here. It says boutique, needle point, McCall's magazine, and the last, nope, 2 more pages. This is from the 06 magazine, and then we've got a charm here of a tape measure. No, this is McCall's. That's from the McCall's magazine, and so is this one, I believe. And then the back and the cover. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this flip through. Both these journals will be available tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, in my Etsy shop. And have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.